Leonard Hale had $47 million spread across accounts, a gleaming tech kingdom at his beck and call, and zero clue how to quiet his autistic son at 30,000 feet. First-class phones were already up, judgment brewing, as 10-year-old Aiden's meltdown rattled the hushed cabin. 3 rows back, 13-year-old Jamal Carter watched, seeing what everyone else missed: fear, not misbehavior. With only a busted toy car and hard-earned wisdom from helping his autistic cousin, Jamal rose, ready to meet Aiden where he was, not where money demanded. The mogul's humiliation, the boy's terror, and the cabin's morbid curiosity collided in a tableau Jamal recognized instantly. He didn't see a problem to neutralize. He saw a kid drowning in noise. He edged forward, heart pounding, clutching that chipped little car like a lifeline, remembering Aunt Sheila's lessons. Slow your voice, soften your body, don't grab, don't crowd, invite. Quick note before we jump back in, tell me where you're tuning in from, and if stories like this are your thing, hit subscribe. Morning light flashed against Gate B7's glass at LaGuardia, as Leonard straightened an Italian silk tie for the 3rd time. His platinum ring, a promise he couldn't remove, caught the sun. Everything about him broadcast triumph. Yet today, the veneer showed hairline cracks, stress leaking through. Leonard projected power. Tailored charcoal suit, priced above most people's rent, posture honed in boardrooms. But the edges trembled. Aiden, stay close, he instructed, tone polished by negotiations, not bedtime. The 10-year-old walked beside him, with palms pressed against his ears, eyes darting under fluorescent chaos. Designer clothes set wrong on sensitive skin, like the fabric weighed too much. Every dozen steps he rocked on his heels, self-soothing, emotion Leonard tried not to see. First class as always, Mr. Hale, the gate agent sang with professional brightness, clocking a frequent premium traveler. Of course, Leonard answered, handing over passes, one steady hand firm on Aiden's shoulder. The boy flinched, but didn't pull away. Down the jet bridge, whispers trailed them like contrails. Leonard knew the murmurs by now, some from magazine covers, some from the suit alone. Lately, the tone changed when eyes slid to Aiden. That's Leonard Hale, a woman murmured. Wife died last year. Cancer, right? Poor kid, her partner replied, watching Aiden clamp down harder as a baby wailed. Leonard's jaw flexed. Money, like money fixes grief, as if 40 grand a month of therapies and specialists had rewired the world. When Aiden still couldn't hold eye contact for more than a heartbeat, they settled into 2A and 2B. Leonard checked email. Aiden traced window frost ghosts with one finger. We'll start boarding economy now, came the announcement, booming too bright. Back in the line, Jamal edged forward, stomach fluttering. His first flight, first anything beyond the Bronx and school. His faded blue backpack, zipper pinned shut with safety clips. Held treasures, spare shirt, a sketch notebook, a handful of cars scarred by love. Next, the agent called. Jamal's pass trembled in his hand. First time, sweetie, the agent asked gently. He nodded, jaw tight. Brave, Mama said. Be brave now. But brave is hard when everything is loud and unknown. When you're flying to an aunt, you barely know because Mama's too sick. His jeans were pressed. Mama had washed them twice, ironed his polo, the stubborn collar stain be damned. You represent us, she'd whispered. Head high. You're as good as anyone on that plane. Jamal squeezed down the narrow aisle toward 27C by the bathrooms. The air smelled like cleanser and recycled breath. His stomach rolled. Excuse me, sorry, he muttered past a grumbling shoulder. He slid into the cramped seat and tucked his pack under, trying to make himself smaller. Up front, Leonard watched Aiden's pre-flight ritual begin, the pattern that always warned of rough skies ahead. Tap, 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 tap. Pause. Tap, tap, tap. Repeat. Aiden's breathing quickened. Leonard knew what followed. Aiden, please, he said under his breath, covering the tapping hand. Not today, we discussed this. Aiden yanked back, panic flashing. He couldn't explain the taps kept edges from cutting. Engines grumbled alive, vibrations skittering up Aiden's bones. Ladies and gentlemen, minor seating issue in the rear. We'll reseat a few passengers, the speaker declared. Jamal looked up. A flight attendant approached. Honey, we need to move you. He grabbed his pack, followed forward, past economy, slip of blue curtain, keep going. Lucky you, she smiled. Last premium economy seat, 7C. Bigger, cleaner, blessedly quieter. A few rows from first class now, he could see through curtain gaps when crew glided by. The safety demo began, volume hot and bright for Aiden like a shout in his head. He slammed palms over ears, rocking faster. In the unlikely event of a water landing, Aiden whimpered. Thin sound under the announcement, too obvious for Leonard. First warning, he fished out noise-canceling headphones. Here, he urged. But when he tried to place them, Aiden thrashed, hand striking Leonard's cheek by accident. Headphones clattered like coins. For the love. Leonard exhaled. Stay calm. Stay in control. Therapists aren't here, he thought, conscious of disapproving eyes. From 7C, Jamal saw the pattern, the rocking, the flapping, when the oxygen masks part hit. Marcus did that in bodegas when radios spiked. Jamal had been taught the signs, the tricks, the patience. Here we go, someone muttered up front. Can't even control his kid. The plane pushed to the runway. Aiden's body went rigid. Then he screamed, not fussing, but fear distilled to sound. Leonard's control cracked. Please, Aiden, please. The boy couldn't stop. Too loud, too bright. His father's panic added another layer. Aiden hit his thighs, rhythmic strikes seeking relief. Oh my God, a woman hissed. Long flight. Wheels lifted. The scream peaked. Seatbelt light glowed. In first class, chaos reigned. Aiden's kicks rattled the seat ahead. The businessman turned, glare like a blade. Unacceptable, he barked. I paid $4,000. Leonard grabbed at legs, but panic makes strength. I'm trying. Try harder, the man snapped. Voices sharpened. Aiden slapped his own cheeks, shocking cracks, gasps. Stop him, someone pleaded. Leonard caught his wrists, thrashing spiked, screams breaking into words. Too loud, too loud, too loud. From 7C, Jamal recognized sensory overload, full tilt. He unbuckled, heart hammering, stepped forward when attendants hesitated. He didn't shout, didn't touch. He knelt low, small, shoulder turned. It's okay, he breathed, soft enough to thread the noise. I know it hurts. I'm here. Aiden's sobs stuttered. Hope fluttered. Jamal slid his pack forward, telegraphing hands slow as sunrise. He pulled a chipped red car, one wheel crooked. He set it on Aiden's tray and nudged. It veered in a crooked arc and stopped. Jamal sent it back. Again, again, predictable, soothing. Slaps quieted, hands lowered. Just the car, Jamal whispered. Nothing else matters, just the car. Leonard watched, awe colliding with shame. This kid, this broke-zipped, clear-eyed kid, was doing what money couldn't. Aiden's breathing evened, shoulders softened, eyes fixed on red paint. You want to try? Jamal asked, still not touching. Aiden's fingers brushed the car. Jamal withdrew. Agency returned like light. The boy pushed. Relief flickered across his face. You're the driver, Jamal murmured. You decide. First class quieted. Complaints curdled into silence. The grumbling businessman turned forward, shrinking inside his suit. A tiny sound escaped Aiden, almost a laugh. Fast car, Jamal breathed, a playful tilt to his tone. Bet it wins. Aiden glanced at him, eye contact, brief and blazing, then back to the track. Trust, thin and golden, stretched between them. Passengers watched, shame in their throats. How did he? Someone whispered. But there was no trick, not really. Jamal was just doing what Aunt Sheila taught. Join him, don't drag him. As the plane leveled, Aiden moved the car, punctuating with small echo-able sounds. Jamal mirrored, one syllable at a time. Leonard sat stunned, his son at peace through connection, not correction. The cabin exhaled. People pretended to read, eyes greedy for something true. What's your name? Aiden asked, voice small but steady. Jamal, he answered. Yours? Aiden. He pushed the car toward Jamal. Wheels broken. Yeah, Jamal said. Still rolls. Broken doesn't mean useless. An older woman lowered her magazine. Earlier, frost thawing. Leonard felt the urge to reassert control, tug tight. Aiden, he said in that command tone he wore like armor. Give the toy back. Sit properly. 3 hours left. Aiden recoiled, clutching the car, turning toward Jamal. No. Public refusal. Leonard's chest caved a little. Jamal met his eyes, offered a small, respectful smile. Transitional objects help, he whispered. Too fast a swap can trigger. Your cousin? Leonard asked, surprised. Marcus? Jamal nodded. 7. My aunt's boy, I help. The words carried no bravado, just presence. Aiden began to hum. Repeat, repeat, steady. Jamal matched the rhythm, then followed Aiden's lead. Leonard blinked. Therapists redirected that hum. He'd tried to quiet it. Jamal accepted it, joined it. The beverage cart rattled closer. Aiden's shoulders tensed. Jamal adjusted, placing his small frame between the threat and the boy. Just drinks, Jamal whispered. Want to race the car while they pass? Aiden nodded, anchoring in red paint. Apple juice? A flight attendant asked, looking to Leonard. He doesn't, Leonard began. Jamal cut in gently. What color's apple juice? Yellow, Aiden said, eyes on the car. Like the sun. Do you like yellow? Jamal asked. Aiden considered. Sometimes, not when it's too bright. This yellow isn't bright, Jamal assured. Then Aiden accepted the cup without flinching. Leonard felt something inside give, an old, brittle assumption cracking. Ask, don't impose. The businessman in front peeked back again, face softened. That's quite a gift, he told Jamal, almost apologizing. Jamal shifted. Not a gift. Just remembering being the kid who didn't fit. Different how? The man's wife asked, kind now. Jamal hesitated, then watched Aiden's fingers tap a new pattern. Everyone hides something, he thought. Some of us just can't. Aiden tapped again. 7 fast, 3 slow. Calm now. Jamal tapped a complimentary rhythm on his knee, like harmony behind a melody. Aiden giggled. Small, real. We're making music, he said, amazed. Both of us, Jamal replied. Want to write a new song? They traded rhythms, leaders, and followers. Nearby passengers eased, some smiling. A girl behind them, tapping until her mom squeezed her hand. Leonard hovered outside the window of his own life, wanting in, unsure how. See you. Aiden, Leonard tried, softer, tentative. Can I play too? His son studied him, skepticism learned from years when attention meant correction. Jamal nodded permission. Show your dad the pattern. He can be drums. Aiden demonstrated, 7-3, slower. Leonard copied, clumsy. No, Aiden said, but without heat. He placed his small hand on Leonard's, guiding. Like this. 7 quick, 3 slow. First voluntary touch in weeks. Leonard swallowed tears, kept tapping. The cabin's temperature changed, hostility dissolving into something gentler. Perfect, Jamal said when Leonard landed the count, speaking to both of them. The earlier critic across the aisle leaned forward, eyes glossy. I'm sorry, she said to Leonard. I didn't understand. My nephew. I should have known. I'm sorry. He nodded. Words stuck. Apologies rarely found him. This one mattered. The captain crackled in. Mild bumps ahead. Aiden stiffened. Jamal responded instantly, with story voice ready. Ice, remember the superhero plane? Jamal grinned. It's flexing muscles. Planes don't have muscles, Aiden countered, curious despite himself. Sure they do. What else holds the wings on? Super strong airplane muscles. Jamal flexed his skinny arm. Aiden laughed out loud. The turbulence arrived, gentle rolls that usually unraveled Aiden, but the story held him. Is my daddy on a superhero plane too? He asked. Everybody is, Jamal said. Even grumpy heroes. Daddy's grumpy a lot, Aiden announced, drawing chuckles. Leonard flushed, then Aiden added softly, he's sad since Mommy went to heaven. Silence spread. Leonard felt exposed and weirdly relieved. Jamal nodded, eyes steady. My mom's real sick. That's why I'm flying, going to Aunt Sheila's. Mom can't take care of me right now. Aiden processed. Will she go to heaven too? I don't know, Jamal answered, honest. I hope not. Me too, Aiden said, placing the car between them. Aiden's body locked, then the scream tore out, raw, unfiltered panic. The jet leapt skyward. Sound swelled to a blinding wall. Leonard's practiced calm shattered. Please, Aiden, please. But the boy couldn't unhear the engines, unfeel the lights. He pounded his thighs, rhythm seeking relief. Judgment hissed like steam. "This is going to be a nightmare," someone stage whispered. Climb continued, belts stayed lit. In first class, disorder bloomed. Aiden's feet hammered the seat ahead. A heavy-set executive whirled, watch flashing. "Unacceptable. I paid $4,000. Leonard tried restraining legs. Panic made Aiden iron. "I'm trying." "Try harder," the man snapped. Raised voices spiked everything. Aiden slapped his face. Sharp, shocking cracks. Gasps rippled. "Stop him," a woman cried. Leonard caught wrists. The fight spiked worse. The words broke through again, desperate and looped. "Too loud, too loud, too loud." From 7C, Jamal recognized the crest. Full sensory overload. He unbuckled and moved. He didn't lunge or shout. He knelt low, angled sideways, smaller than the fear. "Hey," he breathed, voice like cotton. "I know it's loud. I'm here." Aiden's sobs hitched. Jamal let him see every motion, pulled the chipped red car, and nudged it across the tray. Crooked wheel, predictable arc, back, forth. Slaps slowed, then stopped. Fingers lowered, like leaves settling. "Just the car," Jamal murmured. "You don't need anything else." Leonard watched, awe tangle with shame. This kid doing the impossible with patience and a toy. Aiden's breathing steadied, shoulders unclenched. "Want to drive?" Jamal asked. Aiden nudged the car. Jamal withdrew, granting control. The cabin fell into held breath. Complaints cooled to silence. The executive turned forward, smaller somehow. Aiden made a small, almost laugh. "Fast," Jamal said softly. "Bet it wins every race." Quick glance, eye contact like a spark, then back to rolling. A thin bridge of trust stretched between them, gossamer and real. People watched, with faces rearranged by shame and wonder. "How did he?" someone whispered. "No trick. Just joining instead of fixing." As level off came, Aiden added soft syllables. Jamal echoed, building a simple loop. Leonard sat still, realizing connection had accomplished what correction never did. The air felt gentler suddenly. "What's your name?" Aiden asked, voice small, steady. "Jamal," he answered. "You?" "Aiden." He slid the car toward Jamal. "Wheel's broken." "It is," Jamal agreed, not promising repairs. "Still rolls. Broken things can still work." An older woman's newspaper lowered. Frostiness thawed. Leonard's urge to retake command tugged, unwanted but ingrained. "Sach." "Aiden," he said in boardroom cadence. "Give the toy back. Sit properly. 3 hours to go." Aiden hugged the car to his chest, turned toward Jamal. "No." Public refusal stung. Jamal met Leonard's gaze with a small, respectful smile. "Transitional objects help," he murmured. "Taking it too quickly can spark another crash." "Your cousin?" Leonard asked, thrown. "Marcus," Jamal said. 7, my aunt's kid, I help." No swagger, just fact. Aiden began humming, a neat, repeating measure. Jamal matched, then followed the boy's lead. Therapists redirected that hum. Leonard had shushed it. Jamal turned it into a duet, permission disguised as music. The beverage cart rattled. Aiden tensed, shoulders creeping up. Jamal shifted, body a calm buffer. "Just the drink cart," he murmured. "Want to watch the car while they pass?" Aiden nodded, eyes anchoring to red paint. "Apple juice?" a flight attendant offered, glancing at Leonard. "He doesn't." Leonard started. Jamal gently redirected. "What color's apple juice?" Jamal asked. "Yellow," Aiden said, still rolling. "Like the sun." "Do you like yellow?" "Sometimes, not when it's too bright." "This yellow isn't bright," Jamal assured. Aiden accepted the cup like a choice he authored. Inside Leonard, an old certainty cracked. Ask, don't impose. Connection before compliance. The executive peaked again, voice changed. "You've got a gift, kid." Jamal shifted, uncomfortable. "Not really. I remember being the weird one." "Different, how?" The man's wife asked kindly. Jamal hesitated, watching Aiden tap a new pattern. Everyone's got edges, he thought. Some of us can't hide them under suits or smiles. Aiden tapped 7 then 3, calm now. Jamal tapped a complimentary rhythm on his knee, harmony beneath melody. Aiden giggled, small, real. "We're making music," he said, astonished. "Both of us," Jamal grinned. Want to write a new song? They traded patterns, swapping leader and follower. Nearby shoulders loosened. A little girl mimicked softly. Leonard hovered, aching to join, without breaking the spell. Aiden, he tried, gentler than before. Can I play too? Suspicion flickered, years of attention meaning correction. Jamal nodded toward Aiden. Show Dad, Aiden demonstrated. Slower now. Leonard copied, stumbling at first. No, Aiden said without heat, then guided his father's hand patiently. 7 quick, 3 slow. For the first time in weeks, Aiden initiated touch. Tiny hand instructing big one. Leonard swallowed hard and kept rhythm. The air in first class shifted again, judgment loosening into something like care. Perfect, Jamal said, to both of them. Across the aisle, the earlier critic leaned forward. I'm sorry, she told Leonard, eyes wet. I didn't understand. My nephew, I should have known. I'm sorry. Leonard nodded, words snagged. Apologies rarely felt like medicine. This one did. The captain crackled, slight turbulence ahead. Aiden braced. Jamal's story voice arrived on cue, steadying as a handrail in the dark. Superhero plane time, Jamal announced. It's flexing muscles. Planes don't have muscles, Aiden challenged, curiosity peeking through. Sure they do. What else holds the wings on? Super strong airplane muscles. Jamal flexed his skinny arm. Aiden laughed. The bumps arrived, usually a spiral trigger. The story held him on level ground. Is my dad on a superhero plane too? Aiden asked. Everybody is, Jamal said. Even the grumpy heroes. Daddy's grumpy a lot, Aiden declared, drawing soft chuckles. Leonard flushed. He's sad too, since Mommy went to heaven. Silence spread delicate and absolute. Leonard felt bared and strangely lighter for it. Jamal nodded. My mom's really sick. That's why I'm flying, going to Aunt Sheila's. Mom can't take care of me right now. Aiden processed with grave seriousness. Will she go to heaven too? I don't know, Jamal admitted. I hope not. Me too. Aiden set the car down and reached for Jamal's hand. They breathed together while the plane purred. The storm had passed, leaving a quiet that felt earned. Leonard watched his son's features slacken into peace, faster than any clinical session ever managed. Around them, magazines lifted again, eyes still drifting back, drawn by an unexpected tenderness replacing the earlier spectacle. Aiden stirred the car again, rolling it between palms, the scrape of plastic comforting. Jamal stayed kneeling, unhurried, as if time belonged to them. You're good at this, Leonard whispered, the admission scraping. Jamal shrugged. I listen. People try to drag kids like Aiden into their world. Sometimes you start in his. A flight attendant approached with practiced concern. The captain asked me to check on your son. Is everything okay? Leonard defaulted. We're fine. Jamal lifted a hand. Do you have plain crackers? Crunch helps sometimes. She returned with saltines. Jamal opened them carefully. Slow, quiet plastic, then turned it into a game. Crunch contest. Aiden bit down, eyebrows jumping at the sound. A laugh escaped, damp-cheeked but bright. I win, he declared. No chance, Jamal said and chomped theatrically. More laughter, the kind that rinses a room. Passengers smiled despite themselves. Leonard exhaled, not realizing he'd held his breath since Wheels Up at LaGuardia's end. The executive who'd barked before turned back once more, contrition softening his features. I owe you both an apology, he said, to Leonard, then to Aiden. My brother, he has autism. Back then, we didn't have words. They sent him away. I haven't seen him in 3 decades. The confession sagged between rows. His wife squeezed his hand. Maybe you should visit, Jamal offered quietly. It's not too late for family. The man nodded, eyes glassy. You're right. Aiden listened, hands stilling thoughtfully. Is your brother like me? I don't know, the man admitted. I never learned. That's sad, Aiden said. Jamal learns me. Daddy's learning. Leonard felt those words land like a verdict and an absolution. He was trying, his son noticed. The intercom crackled. Initial descent into Chicago in about 45 minutes. O'Hare meant arrival, which meant Jamal would disappear into a life beyond the curtain. Leonard's chest tightened at the thought of goodbye. Soyo. I don't want Jamal to go, Aiden blurted, voice rising. He has to see his family, Leonard managed gently. Aunt Sheila's waiting. But he's my friend. The cabin tensed for another storm. Jamal squeezed Aiden's hand. Friends stay friends, even far. I'll write Aunt Sheila's address. You can send letters or superhero plane drawings. Oh, I don't write good, Aiden muttered, frustration puckering. My letters are wrong. They're yours, Jamal said firmly. That makes them perfect. Leonard fumbled for business cards, then realized the absurdity. Jamal tore a page from his battered notebook, careful print laying out numbers. Here's Aunt Sheila's too. She'll want to thank you. Kind caught in Leonard's throat. He hadn't been kind. He'd been desperate, then astonished. Aiden rocked again, this time gentle, content. Through the window, a quilt of cloud opened to a slate-blue hint of Lake Michigan. The plane nosed down, and the city's steel smile waited in the distance. Seat backs and trays, came the reminder. Jamal glanced at Aiden. Want to be in charge of the car's garage? He nodded solemnly, snapping the tray up and nesting the toy in the armrest cup like a parking bay. Leonard watched his son accept responsibility, small, tangible control that didn't require coercion. You're going to live with your aunt? Leonard asked, practical curiosity fraying with something warmer. Aunt Sheila in Chicago, Jamal said. 3 kids already, plus Marcus. Not much space, but she says family fits where it has to. He grinned crookedly. I'll probably share with my cousin Jerome. He kicks. Leonard pictured Aiden's oversized bedroom, an acre of specialized gadgets, most unused or rejected. She speaks highly of you, Jamal added after a beat. Says Marcus is different when I'm around. He shrugged. I just get him. We're both different, just in different shapes. That landed somewhere tender inside Leonard's ribs. The apologetic woman leaned back again, voice softer now. I overheard about your mom. My sister had cancer. There are programs, assistance. Jamal's mouth tilted. We tried. Insurance won't cover the treatments that might help. Leonard's tablet buzzed, notification for a gala. 50 grand tables, 'cause he couldn't name. He grimaced. 50,000, more than Diana Carter would see in years. The plane rolled through choppier air. Aiden jolted awake, eyes wide. Hey, Jamal soothed immediately. Remember the superhero plane doing loop-de-loops? But the spiral began, breathing fast, hands flapping. Where's Mommy? Aiden cried. I want Mommy! Leonard's heart cracked along old seams. Mommy's in heaven, buddy, Leonard said, reaching. Aiden turned away, burying his face in Jamal's shirt. She said she wouldn't leave. She promised. Jamal wrapped him carefully and met Leonard's eyes. Sometimes people break promises they never wanted to break, he said softly. They just didn't have a choice. Like your mom? Aiden asked into fabric. Yeah, Jamal answered, like my mom. The flight attendant pushed snacks again. Leonard waved her off, but Jamal stopped her. Plain crackers? She produced saltines. Jamal opened them deliberately, quiet, predictable, and transformed sound into play. Biggest crunch wins. Aiden's giggle peeped through the tears. Fuck. I win, Aiden crowed, crumbs spraying like confetti. Rematch, Jamal declared, taking an exaggerated bite. More laughter, the kind that stitches frayed edges. The executive turned again, face gentled by memory and regret. I truly am sorry, he said to both. We didn't know better back then. I should have. You still can, Jamal said. Go see him. The man nodded, chastened and hopeful. I will. Aiden had listened, forehead furrowed. Is your brother like me? I don't know, the man admitted. I never learned. That's sad, Aiden concluded. Learning is good. He glanced at Leonard. Daddy's learning too. The cabin's pressure whisper clicked in everyone's ears. Descending into Chicago, the captain announced. The idea of Jamal leaving pressed on Aiden like another cabin wall. Tears brightened again. I don't want him to go, he repeated. He has to, Leonard said carefully. But friendship doesn't end when a plane lands. We'll send pictures, Jamal said. You can draw train tracks. I'll draw superhero planes. That turned Aiden's face. A small light rekindled. Jamal wrote Aunt Sheila's address clearly. Leonard tucked the paper into his wallet, with a reverence he usually reserved for term sheets. It felt more valuable. I don't write good, Aiden mumbled again, shame nibbling. Wrong letters. They're your letters, Jamal insisted gently. They're right because they're yours. Leonard cleared his throat. We could video call, if your aunt's okay with it. Jamal's eyes widened. Really? Of course, Leonard said. You gave me my son back. I don't want money, Jamal blurted, pride bristling. Leonard shook his head. I didn't offer. I'm saying thank you. Aiden resumed a gentle rock, not fearful, but self-settling. Runway lights sequenced below like a countdown. Someone behind them filmed discreetly, captivated by transformation more than spectacle. A different kind of viral brewing. Wheels dipped, then rose slightly, crosswinds feeling their way. Aiden startled. Jamal anchored him with words about wing muscles and invisible air monsters that superhero planes wrestle bravely. Can Daddy be a superhero too? Aiden asked. Even daddies need help sometimes, Jamal said. Teams make heroes braver. Leonard's throat tightened. Everyone needs a daddy sometimes, Aiden added with sudden authority. Even daddies need daddies. That's what grandpas are. Leonard thought of his own father, distant, gone 5 years, never knowing Aiden. The thought carried old bitterness and new resolve. Some cycles needed breaking midair before landing calcified them again. Ako. Your aunt, Leonard asked carefully. Does she need help with your mom's bills? Jamal's jaw worked. Pride versus reality. We manage. That wasn't the question. The plane angled lower. City grids sharpened. There are bills, Jamal finally admitted. Aunt Sheila took a second mortgage. Leonard nodded, connections assembling like circuitry. We're going to help, Aiden announced, simple as weather. Because that's what friends do. Jamal looked stricken and grateful at once. Leonard met his son's eyes. We'll figure something that respects everyone, he said. Relief and purpose braided together, stronger than the shame that had ruled the climb-out. The skyline rose, a forest of glass catching late morning light. The plane slewed lightly. Landing gear thumped. Ears, Jamal reminded. Yawns help. He demonstrated until Aiden imitated, pressure equalizing with a pop and a sigh. It worked, Aiden said, surprised delight returning. You taught me. He squeezed both their hands at once. Daddy, Aiden said suddenly. Jamal doesn't have a daddy here. Can he borrow you a while? Jamal flushed. Aiden, I'm okay. Everybody needs a daddy sometimes, Aiden insisted. He wasn't wrong. Leonard thought of mentors who arrived when he'd needed scaffolding. I can be backup, Leonard said softly. If that's helpful. Runway stripes rushed up. Tires kissed asphalt. Rubber applause. Reversers roared, then quiet returned. The cabin unclenched. Welcome to Chicago, the speaker chirped. Taxiing stretched minutes thin. Aiden kept the car braced in its cup, his garage safe during bumps. Jamal's shoulders lowered, the kind of tired earned by doing something that mattered. The woman who'd apologized leaned across again, voice tentative. If you need local hospital contacts. Jamal shook his head. Thank you, we've tried many. Leonard's mind raced through oncologists he'd met at panels, donors who owed him favors. For once, money might actually meet the right human problem at the right moment. Seat belts chimed, aisles filled with impatient bodies. First class stayed seated per usual choreography. Aiden looked between boys and dad. Can Jamal come to our house? Leonard smoothed his tie for something to touch. He's going with Aunt Sheila today, but after... We'll see. Maybe soon. Hope tentatively replaced dread in Aiden's eyes. Jamal wrote one more number. The hospital's social worker, who'd treated them decently. In case, he said. Leonard tucked it beside Sheila's address. He'd never held paper that felt this much like a promise. The pilot announced a short taxi. The world outside rolled by. Tarmac, service trucks, stitched horizon. Superhero plane did it, Jamal told Aiden. Muscles worked. He flexed again. Aiden giggled, then mimicked. Skinny arm raised. Leonard laughed, surprised by his own sound. It felt unfamiliar and good. The executive ahead didn't look back. He was busy typing a message that would eventually begin an overdue reconnection. Doors chimed. The jet bridge inched. Please remain seated, the attendants chorused. Aiden echoed softly, practice regulation turned lyric. Jamal grinned. Future flight attendant. Engineer, Aiden corrected. Trains. Trains and planes get along, Jamal said. They both like tracks. Some are invisible. Aiden considered that seriously and nodded once. We'll deplane first class, then the rest, came the script. Straps clicked. Leonard packed mechanically, mind rebuilding a future with new joints, flexible, humane. Aiden cradled the car like a treasure. You can keep it, Jamal said suddenly. But it's yours, Aiden protested. It's ours now, Jamal countered. A friendship car. The curtain opened, the aisle edged forward. Passengers passed with softer eyes. A woman touched Leonard's sleeve. You're doing better than you think, she whispered. He nodded, absorbing it like sunlight. Jamal stayed kneeling until the flow allowed him to stand without crowding Aiden. The rhythm of care continued, predictable, calm. At the doorway, the captain stood with the senior attendant, Patricia, both watching, resolution mixed with admiration. Tough flight? The captain asked gently. Tough beginning, Jamal said. Good ending. Patricia squeezed Jamal's shoulder. You saved us all a little today. He shrugged, uncomfortable with applause. I just listened. Sometimes that's everything. The jet bridge was a tunnel of breath, cooler air, moving like relief. Aiden kept one hand on Leonard's jacket, the other on Jamal's. They walked together, as if stitched temporarily by circumstance. At the terminal corner, a sign lifted. Aunt Sheila, in ballpoint on cardboard. A woman with kind, worried eyes waved. Jamal, she called, voice breaking on love and logistics. He went to her. Their hug was quick, careful. This them? She asked, clocking Leonard's suit and Aiden's solemn clutch on a red car. Yes, ma'am, Jamal said. Mr. Hale and Aiden. Thank you for being kind, she told them. We're grateful. We're the grateful ones, Leonard replied honestly. He offered a hand. Sheila took it with a firm, practical squeeze. He's got away, she said of Jamal. Always did. Aiden held out the car for her to admire. Friendship car, he explained. Emergency quiets. Sheila's eyes glistened. That's medicine money can't buy. They stepped aside for traffic. Insurance won't cover latest trial, Sheila sighed. We do what we can, Leonard nodded, ideas sparking. I know some people, Chicago med circles. She lifted a palm. We've heard promises. I understand, Leonard said. Let us try something concrete first. Jamal watched, weighing pride and possibility. Aiden wants to video call, Leonard added. If you're comfortable, we'll keep it simple, on Aiden's schedule. Sheila's posture softened. That sounds good, Aiden brightened. Tomorrow? After trains? We'll coordinate, Leonard said, catching Sheila's eye for consent. She nodded. Aiden traced tiny circles on the car's hood, self-soothing, content. A beep sounded from Sheila's phone. Hospital update. Her mouth tightened. We need to go. Jamal looked at Aiden. I'll see you soon. Aiden's chin trembled. Promise? Jamal's smile held. Promise. The good kind, the kind you fight to keep. Leonard slipped a card anyway, handwritten cell on the back, human over corporate. Text me directly, he told Sheila. No assistance. I will, she said, surprised and appreciative. Thank you. Jamal crouched to Aiden's height. You're the driver, he reminded. When it's loud, watch the car, then breathe. Drivers decide the route. Aiden nodded gravely. Reverence for rules, he authored, making them stick. Security lines busied past. Announcements layered overhead. Goodbye lived in the liminal hum. Aiden reached and hugged Jamal fast, almost fierce, then withdrew like touch startled him. Jamal nodded, honored. See you, engineer. See you, hero, Aiden said. Leonard's chest pinched at the exchange. Simple titles truer than any magazine cover. They parted, Sheila steering Jamal toward baggage claim, Leonard and Aiden toward ground transport. It felt like an orbit breaking and promising to return. Aiden walked closer to Leonard than usual, shoulder-grazing suit cloth. I like airports now, he declared. They have superhero planes and friendship cars. Leonard actually believed him. Outside, Chicago's air bit sharper than New York's morning. A rideshare slipped to the curb. Leonard buckled Aiden in and slid beside him. We'll call tomorrow, he said. We'll help respectfully. Aiden nodded, then added, We're learning. Leonard looked at him. We are. The city rolled past. River, bridges, possibility. In the car, Aiden arranged the toy neatly in his lap, then began a new rhythm on the armrest. Leonard matched it without correction, letting his son lead. Perfect, Aiden said. Leonard swallowed and let tears stand without swiping them. They didn't need fixing either. They were honest, like morning light. His phone buzzed. The gala committee again. He typed, "Can't attend. Redirect table donation to Pediatric Oncology Foundation at this hospital. Attention of social worker name. Also need private consult with Dr. Ray." He stopped, added, "Urgent but patient-led." Hit send. Different leverage, different aim. Aiden's tapping stayed steady beside him. Jamal and Sheila reached the escalator. "You did good," she said quietly. "I just did what you taught me." "You listened," she corrected. "You made room." Jamal glanced back toward the gate, where a suit and a boy turned toward daylight. "He'll call?" "He will," Sheila said. "And if not, we still stand." Baggage claim belts hummed, lives looped by on rubber. Jamal's duffel arrived, threadbare, heavy with what mattered. They moved toward the exit, toward a hospital visit, toward a small apartment that stretched to fit one more heart. He tucked the torn notebook deeper. Addresses, numbers, faith scribbled between sketches and plans. In the rideshare, Aiden traced the skyline with a finger. "That building looks like a train track," he said. "Kinda does," Leonard replied. "Maybe after we call Jamal, we'll draw it, make a map of today." "Maps are good," Aiden decided. "They show where you are and where you can go." The driver glanced in the mirror, catching a red car in a child's lap and a man matching a quiet tap. She didn't know the backstory, only felt the calm. "O'Hare's wild in the morning," she said lightly. "You two survived." "Better than that," Leonard said. "We learned something worth keeping." "Ah. What's keeping?" Aiden asked. "A habit," Leonard said. "Like asking first, listening, letting you be the driver." Aiden thought, then nodded. "Good habit." He angled the car so the wonky wheel faced out, as if its crookedness were a badge. Leonard smiled. "Broken and rolling," he murmured. "My favorite combination." Back at first class, the complaining executive stood alone by the window, phone to ear. "Can you get me the records?" he asked someone. "Yes, my brother's. I want to visit this weekend." He swallowed. "I should have years ago." He watched a plane lift and thought about second landings. The clip posted by the passenger gathered comments like, "Snow. Most saw kindness." A few still judged. The internet always would. But the important parts, Aiden's laugh, Jamal's patience, Leonard learning to follow, belonged to the three of them. Untouchable. They owned the work and the change. Virality couldn't counterfeit that. Traffic thickened near downtown. "Hungry?" Leonard asked. "Crunch contest?" Aiden grinned. "We'll get crackers," Leonard said. "And apple juice. Non-bright yellow." Aiden approved. "And trains?" "And trains," Leonard promised. The day reassembled around small wins, like stepping stones in a river too wide to jump in one bound. The car slowed by the river's green channel. Aiden watched kayakers cut gentle V's into the water. "Looks quiet," he said. "Looks manageable," Leonard agreed. He thought of future flights, future meltdowns, and the tools they'd carry. A plan, a toy, a phone number. Not certainty, something better, a blueprint for trying. The phone buzzed again, this time a reply from the social worker. "We can talk this afternoon." He typed back, "I'll follow your lead. Nothing without family consent." He hit send and meant it. Old Leonard might have steamrolled. New Leonard could stand down and still be strong, different muscles. "Tomorrow," Aiden said, reminding him. "Video call." "We'll schedule around your trains," Leonard said. "Driver's choice." Aiden considered. "After snack, before building track." "Perfect," Leonard said. "Plans that fit the kid, not the calendar." The car turned toward their building. The city gleamed like a promise still under construction. In Sheila's car, Jamal stared at the hospital's brick and glass. They called. "CT scan looks stable," she said. "We get a consult." Relief and worry braided. That man, Mr. Hale, he seemed different. "People can change fast when love's on the line," Sheila said. "You changed a few people today." "We're going to help," Aiden had declared. And the sentence lived in Jamal's ear like a bell. He didn't want charity, didn't want pity. He wanted partnership, the kind that listened. He squeezed Sheila's hand. "We'll take help that respects us," he said. We'll keep choosing our way through. The rideshare pulled up. Leonard paid and thanked the driver. Inside the lobby, Aiden pressed the elevator button precisely 3 times, then waited. 7 fast, 3 slow, he said, tapping lightly on his thigh. Leonard matched it. A private handshake. The doors opened like a curtain, and they stepped inside together. Upstairs, the apartment felt too large and exactly right. Leonard looked at the wall of therapies and realized the gear wasn't useless. It just wasn't first. He cleared a small table, set paper and markers. Map time, he said. Aiden drew a plane with arms. Muscles, he explained. Invisible tracks. Leonard drew a train and a crooked wheel car. Friendship car, Aiden corrected, pleased. They laughed. The lines on paper became a plan. Call tomorrow. Crackers in pantry. Headphones offered. Never forced. Captain's announcements translated into stories. And always, always ask. The habit of asking might yet remake their days. Across town, Jamal sat beside his mom's bed, Sheila on the other side. Machines hummed, softer than jet engines. Hey, Ma, he said, threading fingers through hers. Plane was loud, but we met good people. I helped a kid. Her eyes fluttered. My hero, she whispered, voice like breath. He told her about the car, the rhythms, the superhero plane. She smiled small, then slept. Sheila leaned over. Proud of you. We're all just borrowing courage, Jamal said. A kid lent me some on the way down. Out the window, a plane banked. He pictured invisible muscles working. Back home, Aiden taped the car above his bed with painter's tape, a tiny shrine to doing hard things. So, I can see it when I wake, he said. Driver reminder. Leonard kissed his hair, light, permitted. Tomorrow we call, he said. We listen. Aiden nodded, sleep already smoothing edges. Leonard stood in the doorway, phone in hand, drafting one more message to Sheila. We'll follow your lead. No publicity. Help quietly. He deleted and rewrote until it was honest and brief. He hit send, then turned off notifications. Some habits he could break on purpose, starting now. He eased the door nearly shut, leaving a generous slice of hallway light. On the dresser, the red car's crooked wheel caught that beam and threw it sideways, imperfect and shining. Leonard exhaled, then smiled. Broken and rolling, he thought. That's us. Tomorrow they'd call. Tonight, they'd rest and keep learning. Leonard recognized the rocking as Aiden's processing rhythm, how big feelings moved through him. Jamal's mom is sick, Aiden announced to no one and everyone. She could go to heaven like my mom. Jamal's shoulders tightened, pride wrestling with exposed hurt. Oh, that's heartbreaking, said the woman who'd earlier called Jamal a blessing. Is that why you're flying alone? Jamal nodded, smoothing the frayed edge of his notebook. She needs special care. My aunt can keep me while... He faltered, then added softly, while she gets better. She will, Aiden declared, with unblinking kid certainty. Medicine fixes things. Dad says science works. Leonard's chest pinched. He'd said that about Sarah before. Metastasis forced the word comfort into the room. Jamal's voice was careful. Sometimes treatment helps a lot. Sometimes it helps differently. The jet banked for final approach. Aiden gripped both Jamal and Leonard, a human bridge. For one bright second, Leonard felt connection instead of obligation. His phone buzzed. Assistance, no doubt. Leonard Hale didn't go 3 hours without directing something. Today, that rule cracked. Ah, your phone, Aiden said, flinching at the vibration. Not important, Leonard answered, and meant it. He pulled it out and, unthinkable 4 hours earlier, held the button until the screen went black. Powering down felt like kneeling, finally meeting his son at floor level. Jamal watched, eyes perceptive. My mom does that too, turns it off when it's important. Is this important? Aiden asked. All talks with friends are important, Jamal said. The word landed strangely for Leonard. Friends. After 9 years of orchestrated playdates and sterile social skills sessions, real friendship had never stuck. Acceptance rarely came with calendars. The captain announced final descent into O'Hare. Attendants prepared the cabin. People reached for bags, curated screens, resumed ordinary lives. Row 2 didn't move. I don't want to land, Aiden whispered. Leonard understood, wholly. A businessman behind leaned forward, familiar from some conference stage. Hale, right. Leonard braced for a pitch or polished pity. Instead, what I saw today changed how I think. Your son's lucky to have you. Leonard almost laughed. I'm lucky he had Jamal, he admitted, raw. I wasn't able to. Leonard Hale didn't confess failure. He framed narratives, sculpted optics. But this cabin had seen the crumble. Polishing was pointless. You were trying, Jamal said quietly. That counts. Does it? Leonard asked, surprised by the tremor in his own voice. I've tried 9 years, therapists, programs, specialists. Yet I never… You didn't see him, Jamal finished gently. Seeing's hard when you're scared. I'm not scared, Leonard reflexed, then stopped. Who was he kidding? He was scared every day, of failing Aiden, of repeating his father's cold distance. Aiden had been listening, head tilted, his deep processing posture. Daddy is scared of many things. Hugs, being late, me. The last word hit like a punch. No, Leonard started, then swallowed. Yes, Aiden continued matter of fact. Your face does scared when I'm loud, or not like other kids. Jamal's doesn't. Leonard couldn't deny it. He feared not Aiden, but his own inadequacy. Fear means something matters, Jamal offered. My mom says that. You're scared because you love him. Outside, highways braided closer. Tiny cars threaded below. Ordinary lives unaware of this sky-small revolution. Leonard saw Sarah, hands that could quiet a storm, patience that never ran out. Learn his language, she'd told him. He's speaking, always. He'd been busy founding, scaling, closing. He assumed there'd be later, post-launch, after earnings, once the market cooled. Later collapsed into loss. Daddy's crying, Aiden observed, touching Leonard's cheek. Leonard hadn't noticed tears until then. The great Leonard Hale, weeping in first class, and not caring. Yeah, he rasped. Dad's cry, like when Mommy went to heaven. Like now, he added, realizing how much I missed. Wheels kissed runway, reverse thrusters softened. Bags clicked free across the cabin, notifications resumed their bustle. In row 2, time stayed syrup slow. Mr. Hale, Jamal said with unusual formality. May I give Aiden something? Leonard nodded, speechless. Jamal tore a page from his sketchbook. He handed Aiden a drawing, Aiden grinning beside a superhero plane. But it's yours, Aiden protested. Now it's ours, Jamal said. Friends share important things. The jet taxied. A curious attendant crouched. Sweetheart, are you meeting someone? My Aunt Sheila, Jamal said. She'll have a sign. Where from? She asked, touched by everything she'd witnessed. Jamal hesitated, thumb worrying the strap on his bag. New York, Queens, my mom's at Mount Sinai. Passengers within earshot quieted. She tried to come, he added. Tried to get up to see me off. Nurses said no. Aiden, listening intently, asked with surgical directness. Does your mom need help? The innocence cracked something open in Jamal. Yeah, he whispered. A lot. Leonard's chest tightened. The boy who held their world together had been carrying his own. What kind of cancer? Leonard asked gently. Watch, lung, stage 4, Jamal said, hands shaking slightly. Started a year ago. We didn't know until 6 months back. She kept calling it a cold. Didn't miss work. She cleaned offices 20 years. He swallowed. That building had asbestos. Others got sick, too. Sympathy rustled across rows. Leonard's mind sifted options. Legal, medical, practical. Has the company taken responsibility? Jamal shook his head. They say you can't prove where sickness came from. Their lawyers are… He searched, found it. Mean. An older man in a tailored suit turned, face lawyerly, voice clipped but kind. Did you say asbestos for 2 decades? Jamal nodded. Other cleaners, too. The man offered a card. I'm a partner at Carver, Brennan & Associates. Environmental law. That sounds like criminal negligence. Leonard knew the name. Corporate giants winced when that firm called. Listen to him, Leonard said to Jamal. They don't lose. Jamal shook his head. We can't afford… Pro bono, the lawyer cut in. Multiple victims, blatant negligence. Public interest alone justifies it. Also, it's right. Aiden had been processing. Suddenly he snapped toward a previous cynic. Don't talk about Jamal like that, Aiden said, sharp and protective. He's good. He helps. Eyes widened. Aiden defending someone else, outward empathy shining. Jamal squeezed his hand. It's okay. Some people don't understand. They should, Aiden insisted. Understanding matters. He understood me. They reached the gate. The seatbelt chime released the cabin. People stood, but lingered. Across the aisle, a quiet woman finally spoke. Young man, I'm with the Chicago Ledger. Your story, people should hear it. Jamal winced. I didn't do anything special, he said, shrinking from the spotlight. You calmed a child when his own father couldn't, she said, gentle but firm. You showed compassion while carrying your own crisis. That's extraordinary. Leonard recognized something of himself, older, softer, inside Jamal's discomfort. He doesn't want publicity, Leonard said, protective now. He's a kid. Enough. She nodded, shelving the angle with visible restraint. Can I tell you about my mom? Aiden asked Jamal, ignoring the disembark pressure. Because I know about yours. Jamal nodded. She smelled like blue bottle flowers, Aiden said. Sang wrong on purpose. Said I was perfect, even when I wasn't. She sounds wonderful, Jamal said. She was, Aiden agreed. Dad was different when she was here. Smiled more, came home for dinner, played trains, mostly because Mom made him. Leonard felt each precise observation pierce. But he's trying now, Aiden added. He turned off his phone. Laughter bubbled, a pressure release. Leonard tried a small, rueful smile. Tell me about your mom, he asked Jamal. Not the illness, her. Jamal's face changed. A real smile broke through. Best mac and cheese, from scratch. She can't cook much now, but teaches me by phone. She reads everything. Papers, books, cereal boxes. Says knowledge can't be taken. She's right, Leonard said, meaning it. She should have gone to college, but she had me instead, Jamal added, voice catching. She never made me feel like a cost. A grandmother nearby leaned in, firm. Children aren't costs, she said. They're investments. Today, you're paying dividends. An attendant approached again, apologetic. We need to deplane for the next flight. Movement resumed, gentler now. Something in the cabin had softened, strangers passing bags like neighbors on a porch. Standing, Aiden latched onto Jamal with both hands. No, he can't go, he pleaded. Leonard inhaled to intervene, but Jamal already had it. Remember? He said softly. Friends don't stop being friends when they're apart. Chicago's not that far. Maybe your dad brings you to visit. Leonard nodded before thinking. We can make that happen. A former complainer cleared his throat. I run a restaurant chain, he said. We're hiring. If your aunt needs work, have her call me. He handed Jamal a card. Good pay, full benefits, including health. Jamal looked overwhelmed. Why? He managed. Because today you reminded us what matters, the man said simply. They moved down the aisle slowly, Aiden between Leonard and Jamal, hand in each. Others yielded space, a small ceremony of respect that warmed Leonard in a place ambition rarely reached. In the jet bridge, Jamal paused. Mr. Hale, can I ask something? Of course. How do you keep going, after losing someone? Leonard resisted an easy platitude. I don't know, he said honestly. I've done it wrong, worked instead of connecting. Today taught me the opposite. Jamal nodded, older than his years. My mom says grief shared halves, joy shared doubles. Mom said that too, Aiden added quietly. They emerged into the gate area. Aunt Sheila stood with a glittery sign. Jamal. She saw him, and relief bloomed across her whole face. There's my baby, she called, arms wide. Jamal hesitated, then ran into the hug. Leonard's heart ached at the clear, ordinary love. Aunt Sheila, Jamal said, stepping back. This is Aiden and Mr. Hale. They're my friends from the plane. Sheila's eyes took in everything quickly. Thank you for watching over him, she said. Actually, Leonard said, he watched over us. Aiden tugged her sleeve. Jamal helped when I was scared. He has a cousin like me, Marcus. Can I meet Marcus? Sheila softened. If you're like my Marcus, you're extra special. Jamal says I'm perfect how I am, Aiden declared. He's right, Sheila said, pride clear. You've always had a gift with kids, she told Jamal. Not a gift, he murmured, same humility. I remember being different. Leonard reached for his wallet, then paused. Today had taught restraint. For your mom's treatment, he said instead, careful. I have connections. Sloan Kettering, Hopkins, top oncologists, if you'll let me make calls. Sheila's face held Jamal's earlier pride versus practicality war. We don't take charity. It's not charity, Aiden interjected. It's what friends do, right, Jamal? Tears slid from Jamal's eyes. Right. Leonard knelt to Aiden's level, then stood, and offered Jamal a formal handshake. Thank you, he said. For showing me what I wasn't seeing. Jamal shook firmly. You weren't missing it. Just couldn't find the angle yet. Offers clustered nearby. The lawyer promised filings. The restaurateur repeated his offer. Others handed cards, encouragement, prayers. Leonard gestured at the small crowd. Look what you started, he told Jamal. Jamal shook his head, glancing at Aiden. He started it, by being himself. That changed us. Aiden's grin blazed. Separation pressed. Aiden refused to release Jamal until he promised to call that night. We'll show Marcus the superhero plane, Aiden said. Deal, Jamal smiled. As they walked away, Leonard heard Sheila asking for the story, other passengers retelling. Warmth, lingering, like the last cabin sunlight. 20 minutes later, Leonard and Aiden sat in the first-class lounge for their connection to Los Angeles, restless and rewired. Aiden kept unfolding Jamal's drawing. Leonard stared at his still-dead phone like an artifact from a prior species he'd finally outgrown. "Oh, Daddy, we messed up," Aiden said suddenly. Leonard's pulse kicked. How? We didn't get on Jamal's plane. He's alone now. Leonard opened his mouth to explain when the lounge TV yanked his attention. A shaky phone video from their flight already looping across local news. There he was, rumpled, desperate, while Jamal, steady as a lighthouse, rolled a red car. 2 million views in an hour, said the anchor. The helper, identified only as Jamal, was flying to Chicago while his mother battles cancer. Leonard's stomach plunged. Vulnerability, exposure, headlines incoming. "Oh, that's us," Aiden pointed. "There's Jamal." Heads turned, recognition blooming. Leonard braced for pitches, faux warmth, networking. Instead, a woman approached softly. "My grandson's autistic," she said. "That video gave me hope. Your friend, the boy, is special." Before Leonard could respond, speakers cracked. "Attention, severe weather from the west. All outbound flights grounded. Expect delays 3 to 4 hours. Aiden froze, paper crinkling in his fist. "No, planes go. That's the rule," he said, voice climbing. Leonard felt panic rise. Jamal wasn't here. The room's eyes started gathering. "I want Jamal," Aiden sobbed. "He understands. You don't." The truth landed, heavy and deserved. Leonard knelt, suit on scuffed carpet, optics be damned. "You're right," he said, voice breaking. "I don't understand, but I want to, more than anything." Aiden rocked, hands over ears. Leonard tried Jamal's way. He matched the sway instead of stopping it. "Sometimes rules change," he murmured. "Like our new rule, friends help friends." Aiden's rock slowed. "Good rule." "Another one?" Leonard asked. "When planes can't go, we find something else." "Like what?" Suspicion flared. Leonard searched. What would Jamal do? "Call our friend early," he said. "You promised tonight. New rule, friends can call when they need." He powered on his phone, ignoring message avalanches, and dialed Jamal's number from the folded paper. He put it on speaker, hands trembling. "Hello?" Jamal's voice, tired but warm. "Jamal," Aiden shouted. "Planes won't fly. Weather." "Hey, buddy," Jamal said, voice shifting into that even cadence. "That's frustrating." "It's wrong," Aiden insisted. "Planes go." "Sometimes when plans change, something better's coming," Jamal offered. Commotion flared at the entrance. A family arrived, another boy mid-spiral, familiar movements. Parents looked wrung out. Aiden noticed first. "He's like me," he said. "He's scared," Leonard agreed. Aiden stood, slowly, carefully, and crossed the room. Jamal still on speaker, Leonard following. He didn't touch or shush. He sat nearby. Aiden rolled the crooked wheel car in a steady loop. The other boys' cries hitched, then thinned as attention locked on the pattern. Sometimes planes don't fly, Aiden said. Waiting is a different kind of going. The parents' faces shifted, astonished relief. Is Aiden helping? Jamal asked softly. Yes, Leonard whispered, throat tight. He's doing exactly what you did. No, Jamal corrected gently. He's doing what Aiden does. He just needed permission to be himself. Over the next hour, as storms sharpened and delays lengthened, Aiden became a bridge, modeling, echoing, patiently co-regulating. The other kid, Jaime, learned the 7-3 rhythm. Aiden told the superhero plane story with new details. He stayed gentle when Jaime backslid. Leonard found himself talking with Jaime's parents, not about deals or funds, but about grief, joy, meltdown math. He spoke Sarah's name without armor. Your son is remarkable, Jaime's mom said, watching the boys tap in sync. He is, Leonard said, and fully meant it. Lightning spidered across distant glass. Flights canceled until morning, an announcement sighed. Groans rolled, but Aiden shrugged. More time with my friend, he said, matter of fact. Jamal's FaceTime rang back. Aiden grabbed the call. Jamal's face filled the screen, Aunt Sheila and Marcus waving from behind. Marcus wants the superhero plane, Jamal said. Aiden smoothed the drawing and held it up. Plane, Marcus clapped. Superplane. Superplane, Aiden agreed solemnly, proud. Sheila leaned into frame. Mr. Hale, Jamal told me your offer. Thank you. It's what friends do, Leonard said, echoing Aiden. Your nephew saved us. He always finds a way to help, especially when it's hardest, Sheila replied. Lights flickered. Several kids cried. Aiden scanned the room. They're scared, he told Jamal. What helps? Jamal tossed the ball back. What do you think? Aiden climbed a chair. Leonard almost said down, then caught himself. Everyone, Aiden announced. Lights are playing. Storm makes them play. Not scary. Playing. Parents repeated it. Fear loosened its grip. Perfect, Jamal said through the phone. You're helping everybody. Like you helped me, Aiden replied. No, we helped each other, Jamal said. As the front edge of the storm passed, Leonard noticed the room changing. Strangers sharing snacks, swapping stories, entertaining toddlers. Soft community, unplanned and real. A text from Leonard's assistant. Bored nervous. Tokyo. He deleted it, unread. For the first time in his career, he didn't care about the pitch deck, the expansion, or the line going up. Daddy, Aiden asked quietly, returning. Are you different now? Leonard considered. I think so. Is that okay? He added. Yes, Aiden said. Different is good. Jamal taught me. He taught both of us, Leonard agreed. Morning opened clean and bright after a hotel layover. They'd eaten room service fries, watched runway ballet, and finally talked with space on both sides. Back at the gate, familiar faces gathered. Jaime's family, the contrite executive. Did you find your brother? Leonard asked. The man nodded, eyes shining. A facility in Maine. I'm flying there now instead of presenting. 40 years I've lost to shame. Your son, and that boy, showed me courage. Boarding started. The agent smiled at Aiden. I heard you were a hero yesterday. Aiden thought. Not hero, friend. Hero's different. Friends are same, but different. The flight west was uneventful. Aiden still covered ears, but didn't spiral. Leonard joined rhythms, offered choices, gave room. Midway, Aiden asked, Can we visit Jamal and meet his mom? Absolutely, Leonard said. When she's ready. We should bring something, Aiden said. When people are sick, you bring something. Mommy liked flowers. Maybe Jamal's mom likes something else. We'll ask first, Leonard promised. New habit, kept. Descending into LAX, Leonard's phone buzzed with headlines. Bigger outlets had picked up the video, interview requests stacked. A publisher pitched a children's book. One message caught him, Dr. Jenna Patterson, MD Anderson. I'll consult pro bono for Jamal's mom. We all deserve to be met. Tears pricked. Ripples moved far beyond row 2. The plane glided down. Soft applause rose. Leonard assumed it was for pilots, then realized people were facing them. Why clapping? Aiden asked. Because you taught them something, Leonard said. I didn't teach. I was myself, Aiden replied. Exactly. News crews waited in the terminal. Someone had tipped them. Microphones extended, questions volleyed. Leonard's instinct was to shield, pivot, use the VIP corridor. Aiden's hand grounded him. It's okay, Aiden said. They want to know about Jamal. Leonard stopped, for once without a publicist's script. A young man showed us humanity isn't wealth or status, he said, voice clear. It's connection, seeing people, not problems. My son is autistic. I spent years trying to fix him. Jamal, 13, carrying his own crisis, showed me I needed to change instead. Advice for parents? A reporter called. Leonard looked at Aiden. Aiden nodded. Meet your kid where they are, Leonard said. Listen, they're talking. Learn their language. Will you stay in touch with Jamal? Another asked. Aiden answered, steady. He's our friend. Friends are forever, even far away. They reached Leonard's driver, but he pivoted. Take us to the office. It's the weekend, Aiden said. I know, I need to do something. The building was quiet, security, and a few diehards. Leonard led Aiden to the boardroom, where growth plans had recently devoured whiteboards. He sat Aiden at the head, then pulled up beside him. This is where I make big decisions, he said. But I've dodged the important ones about us. He typed an email to the board. Delegating operations, staying CEO, but present. Non-negotiable, he wrote. Send. What's that mean? Aiden asked. More time for trains, patterns, and us, Leonard said. Aiden's smile unfurled, unguarded, whole. FaceTime chimed, Jamal. We're in Dad's big office, Aiden said. Cool, Jamal grinned. That doctor you mentioned called. She can help Mom. We fly to Houston next week. We'll come too, Aiden blurted, glancing at Leonard. Absolutely, Leonard said without hedging. A soft voice in the background. Is that the family you helped? Jamal turned to the phone. Diana appeared, thin, luminous-eyed. Thank you for being kind to my boy, for seeing him, she said. He saved us, Leonard replied, choked. He's always been special, Diana said. Even when it's hardest, he finds light. Like Aiden, Jamal added. He found light at the airport, helped scared kids. Aiden beamed. Same, but different, he said. Exactly, Diana smiled, exhausted and radiant. After the call, they watched the city glow. Happy, sad, or sad? Aiden asked. Leonard considered. Both, he said. Sad for wasted time, happy for what's next. Me too, Aiden said. Sad Mommy can't see. Happy we found Jamal. Silence settled. The comfortable kind that says we're okay. Home? Aiden asked. Want to show Jamal my train room on video? Of course, Leonard said. One more thing first. In his office, he took down a fortune cover, replaced it with a screenshot. Aiden, Jamal, Leonard, connected mid-air. Better, Aiden pronounced. Leonard agreed, deeply. Messages stacked as they left. The attorney had filed, the restaurateur had emailed Sheila with a management track, the oncologist had assembled a team. The ripple widened. Jamal texted, thanks for seeing me too, friends forever. Leonard typed back, forever. That evening, they made good on the promise. Aiden gave Jamal a virtual tour of the train room, engines, gauges, lines, lovingly cataloged. Jamal listened like a pro, asking curious questions that made Aiden shine. Marcus rolled in, and soon all three boys were choo-chooing, laughing, joy as medicine, free and abundant. Leonard watched from the doorway, stunned by the change. A week ago, Aiden guarded his trains like secrets. Now he planned which engines Jamal and Marcus would use. The assistant pinged about Tokyo, share price, optics. Leonard deleted everything. For the first time, clarity wasn't a spreadsheet. Later, tucking Aiden in, he heard, Do you think Mommy would be proud? Leonard swallowed. Very proud of you, he said. And proud of me for learning. You're learning, Aiden agreed. Jamal taught something important. What? Broken wheels still roll. Just differently. Leonard kissed his forehead gently. Good night, my perfect boy. Not perfect, Aiden corrected. Just Aiden. More than enough, Leonard said. On the wall, Jamal's drawing now hung framed. Superhero plane keeping watch. Leonard went to his home office and made new calls. Not about markets, but about building something that mattered. The Malik Johnson Foundation for Neurodivergent Youth. Seeded by Leonard, shaped by families, stewarded by Jamal someday if he wished. Funds for respite, coaching, sensory-friendly spaces, mentorships, travel stipends for treatment. Not photo ops, partnerships. His phone buzzed, a message from an unknown parent. "You don't know me. My daughter's autistic. We're drowning. Watching your son help another kid and watching you learn gave us hope. Thank you for being vulnerable in public. It matters." Leonard set the phone down and stared at city lights, pinpricks of lives, each with weather inside. The red car sat on his desk, crooked wheel catching lamp glow like a tiny prism. Sometimes the most meaningful journeys begin when plans break. A millionaire's kid screamed mid-air. A 13-year-old saw him, understood him, and reminded everyone watching what compassion can build. A story that began in embarrassment became something else. Proof that meeting people where they are changes rooms, then days, then systems. Leonard opened notes and wrote, "Lessons for Aiden and Jamal." Then let the list arrive without branding. Simple, durable, meant to be lived, not posted. Broken things work differently. Friends don't end when distance begins. Meet people where they are. Different isn't less. Small gestures can move mountains. Kids remember truths adults forgot. Pride blocks bridges. Vulnerability is strength. Wealth equals relationships. It's never too late to learn. Down the hall, Aiden murmured to himself, or to the superhero plane. Tomorrow we call Jamal again. Next day too. That's what friends do. Leonard smiled. One Sarah would recognize. For the first time since she died, he felt her presence as approval, not ache. She'd always known Aiden was enough as is. It took a kid with a battered toy to teach Leonard the same lesson. The story didn't end with stock prices. It ended with a father in a doorway, a sleeping boy, and a drawing guarding tomorrow. And it didn't really end, because ripples weren't endings. They were beginnings masquerading as aftermath. Jamal had steadied one cabin. Aiden steadied a lounge. Leonard changed a life, his own, by finally listening. The red car stayed on the desk, their crooked, beautiful compass. In Chicago, Jamal tucked his notebook beside his bed, pages of sketches, addresses, and a future he could almost touch. Aunt Sheila peeked in. "Big day tomorrow," she whispered. "Houston's calling." Jamal nodded, thinking of Aiden's map drawings, invisible tracks, and the way courage can be borrowed. At O'Hare, the executive bought a ticket to Maine. At home, the Tribune reporter drafted a different story, less spectacle, more dignity, then chose not to publish without consent. A janitor on break watched the viral clip and decided to ask for accommodations for her autistic son. In New York, a school counselor forwarded the video to a principal with a subject line, "We can do better." In Houston, a clinic moved schedules to fit a woman named Diana. Ripples everywhere, and none of them required perfection, just presence, patience, and a red car. Leonard turned off the office light and walked back to Aiden's room. The house was very quiet. For once, quiet didn't feel like emptiness. It felt like space, room for new rules. Ask first, match rhythms, let the kid drive whenever possible. Tomorrow would bring emails, meetings, possibly backlash. It would also bring crackers in the pantry, a framed drawing, and a video call to Chicago. He'd make coffee, then choices that aligned with the list. That was leadership too, just not the kind Fortune printed. In the morning, Aiden padded into the kitchen. "Crunch contest?" he asked, hopeful. "You bet," Leonard said, sliding over a sleeve of saltines. "Winner picks when we call Jamal." "Before tracks," Aiden decided. "Driver's choice," Leonard replied, smiling at the phrase that had rewritten his days. That afternoon, the foundation paperwork arrived on his desk. He signed, then paused at the signature line like it was a vow. "For Sarah," he whispered. "For Aiden. For Jamal." The crooked wheel flashed again, a small flare of light, brighter than any golden parachute. Sucked weeks later, in a Houston waiting room, Aiden showed Marcus how to echo hums. Jamal translated doctor speak into mother speak and back again. Leonard fetched snacks, asked instead of assumed, and marveled at how much easier everything felt when he wasn't playing lone savior. Months after that, at a quiet ceremony, Leonard watched Jamal accept a community award he hadn't sought. Jamal thanked nurses, Aunt Sheila, and my friends Aiden and Mr. Hale, then made the audience laugh with, Waiting is a different kind of going. Truth travels well. Back home, Aiden taped a new note near the drawing. Rules we made. Under it, friends call when needed. Lights are playing. Drivers decide routes. Broken wheels still roll. Leonard didn't edit a word. It read like policy better than anything his company had written. On a later flight, turbulence bumped them. Aiden squeezed Leonard's hand, then whispered, "Muscles." Leonard flexed, played along, matched a quiet 7-3 on the armrest. Across the aisle, a frazzled parent exhaled. Sometimes modeling is the best sermon. Sometimes the sermon is 35 words. When the first grant from the foundation landed, Sheila used it to hire a part-time aide and buy noise-dampening curtains. She sent a photo of Marcus sleeping peacefully by noon for the first time in months. Jamal texted 3 words. "You did that." Leonard typed back. "We did." On the anniversary of Sarah's passing, Leonard and Aiden visited her tree. Aiden pressed the red car against the bark. "Different tracks," he told the roots. "We found them." Leonard didn't speak. He just matched the rhythm of a breeze, and the boy beside him. At a later checkup, Diana teased Jamal. "Who turned you into a public speaker?" Jamal laughed. "A kid with trains." Diana squeezed his hand. "Keep following those invisible rails," she winked at Leonard. "And keep turning off that phone when the talk is important." The lawyer sent an update. The asbestos case was moving. A class had formed. Jamal read the letter aloud to Aunt Sheila, then to Aiden on video. "Justice is a different kind of waiting," he told Aiden. "But waiting is still going." Aiden nodded solemnly. At Leonard's company town hall, he shared the new parental leave policy, neurodiversity training, and quiet rooms. He didn't mention the video, he mentioned the list. Employees stayed after with stories and gratitude. Culture shifted. Less posture, more presence. Stockholders didn't revolt. Productivity rose anyway. When magazines called, Leonard declined covers. He forwarded reporters to organizations that had been doing the work for decades. "Meet them where they are," he wrote. "We're listening." It wasn't performative humility, it was relief. Finally, he wasn't the product. He could be a person. On a spring Saturday, Jamal and Aunt Sheila visited New York. Aiden met them at the station, wearing a conductor hat and grinning like sun. They rode real trains, made up routes, and ate mac and cheese from scratch. Jamal's recipe, phone instructed by Diana between treatments. That night, they sat on the floor of the train room, tired and happy. "Tomorrow we hit the Science Museum," Leonard said. "Driver's choice," Aiden replied. Jamal, already half asleep, grinned. "Different kind of going," he murmured, and the phrase curled into the carpet like incense. When the night ended, Aiden staged the friendship car on the highest shelf. "So it can see everything," he explained. Jamal saluted it. "Guardian of roots." Leonard flicked the hallway light. The crooked wheel caught it, flinging a sliver across the room, like a green signal. The next morning, Aiden explained Bernoulli to a stranger's kid using paper cups and breath. Jamal added a superhero plane flourish. Leonard watched 2 boys build a bridge in real time, between science and story, noise and calm, strangers and kin. It looked suspiciously like church. In Houston, Diana's scans showed stabilization. Dr. Patterson smiled. "We keep going." Jamal cried in Sheila's arms, then called Aiden. "Better news," he said, grinning wet. "See," Aiden answered. "Rules changed. Good rules. Waiting, going, new synonyms, learned on a day planes wouldn't fly." Leonard, later that year, spoke quietly at a small conference. No slides. "My son taught me to match rhythms," he said. "A young man taught me to listen. The rest is logistics." In the back row, a parent cried softly. Recognition is its own medicine. On Aiden's birthday, Jamal mailed a hand-drawn map. Invisible tracks spidering between cities, with tiny red cars marking stops. "Routes for hard days," the legend read. Aiden taped it beside the framed drawing. "Now we have 2 guardians," he told Leonard. "Planes and maps." The first time Aiden melted down again on a flight, Leonard's face didn't do scared. It did steady. Passengers still looked, some still judged. But one mom nodded thanks across the aisle. After, Aiden said, "You learned." "I did," Leonard said, "because you taught me." On a Tuesday, the foundation funded a sensory-friendly hour at a busy grocery. Meltdowns still happened. So did kindness. A clerk learned to speak softly. A manager turned off the music. A kid ate a cracker and smiled. Waiting remained a different kind of going. In Chicago, Jamal read to Marcus about trains. In New York, Aiden diagrammed patterns he felt that day. In both places, boys grew older together. FaceTimes, visits, shared drawings. Their friendship, unremarkable and extraordinary, outlasted algorithms. Crooked wheels rolled, roots expanded. Parents learned different muscle memory. Leonard sometimes dreamed of the plane, the swirl of judgment, and the hush that followed. In dreams, Sarah sat beside him, nodding at the list. "Took you long enough," she teased. He woke laughing, then made breakfast, and asked rather than assumed. Practice makes possible. When the lawsuit settled years later, Sheila paid off the mortgage. Diana rang a bell. Jamal enrolled in a program for child psychology. Translation specialist, he joked. Aiden designed a small exhibit called Waiting is Going. Leonard spoke last. Every good decision started with listening. At a small celebration, the restaurateur from O'Hare catered. The executive who found his brother toasted softly. The reporter attended as a friend, not a byline. The lawyer smiled without victory laps. Community, not optics. The friendship car sat on the table like centerpiece. That night, Leonard wrote 2 names in the foundation charter beside founders, Aiden Hale and Jamal Carter. He placed the framed screenshot between their signatures, 3 figures mid-air, forever connected by a crooked red wheel and a choice to meet instead of manage. Before sleep, Aiden whispered at his wall guardians, "Tomorrow we call again, and the next?" Leonard stood in the doorway, heart easy. He didn't fear missing a meeting. He feared missing this. The hallway light carved a kind arc across carpet, tender as breath. The red car's crooked wheel caught that light and threw it sideways, imperfect, shining. Leonard exhaled and smiled, broken and rolling. That's us. Tomorrow, they'd call. Tonight, they'd rest. And in the morning, they'd keep learning the language of each other, one steady, human word at a time. At 30,000 feet, wealth stumbled and wisdom knelt. A boy with a chipped toy car taught a grieving father to listen before fixing. For those of us seasoned by time, the lesson is simple and strong. Meet people where they are, match their rhythm, and love leads every single day. Friends, did this mid-air moment remind you of a time when listening mattered more than fixing? If you've raised kids, cared for grandkids, or faced grief yourself, what small habit, like matching a rhythm or offering a simple toy, helped calm the storm? Share your story in the comments. Tap like if this resonated, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel so you won't miss future heart-smart lessons we can practice together.